And looking at People's 115, is that depicted here where I'm pointing, although blurred, it would be to the left of the amber bag as depicted in the photograph?
Yes.
I have a close-up of that same photograph, Your Honor. May that close-up be marked as People's 120, or excuse me, 119?
Yes.
Ms. Fleak showing you this close-up, People's 119. Does that depict the IV catheter that you found underneath the amber bag?
Yes, it does.
And are you aware from your review of the evidence that that was subsequently booked into LAP as LAPD evidence item 143?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a LAPD evidence item 143 in a Sharpie container. I'm going to leave it in the container. May this be marked People's 120 for identification?
It is.
When this item was recovered, Ms. Fleak, was it as depicted in People's 119 with the IV catheter needle uncovered and exposed as it is in the photograph?
Correct.
Okay. Was it subsequently capped with a plastic cap and placed into this plastic tubing that is shown on the OMA?
Yes.
Did you also recover during this same search in the same area some various medical supplies and needles?
Yes.
In People's 104, again, showing where the prescription medicine bottles were recovered, this Bayer aspirin bottle that was recovered by you?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and that's LAPD evidence item 150. I'm going to leave that in its plastic bag. May that be marked People's 120 for identification, Your Honor?
121.
I'm sorry, People's 121.
Yes.
Placing a P121 on the plastic bag. This was recovered by you and taken into coroner's custody?
Yes, it was.
Also in this picture, again, although somewhat washed out, where I'm pointing in the photograph, which would be to the left of the wicker basket, is this a box of lotion?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and did you recover that?
Yes.
I have LAPD evidence item 148, Your Honor. A box of Anthelios lotion. May this be marked People's 122 for identification?
Yes. Could you spell that name, please?
Anthelios.
Thank you.
And that is, again, People's 122.
Yes.
Going to People's 116, Ms. Fleak. Again, the photograph's washed out, but to the left of the photograph behind the alcohol prep pads, is this a box of syringes that I'm pointing to?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And actually referred to on the box as XL hypodermic disposable needles booked into LAPD as item 149?
Correct.
Okay. May this be marked People's 123, Your Honor?
It is.
And in that same photograph, Ms. Fleak, People's 116, the item you previously identified as the Gelco IV catheters, do you know that to have been booked into LAPD evidence as item 158?
Yes.
Okay. May this be collectively marked as People's 124, Your Honor?
Yes.
I have a photograph. The same room, different vantage point, Your Honor, showing a wooden chair with pads and what appears to be a jug of urine sitting on the chair. May this be marked People's 125 for identification?
Marked.
Ms. Fleak, showing you what was earlier marked People's 25. May we dim the lights?
Yes.
In People's 25, Ms. Fleak, just to orient ourselves, to the right of People's 25, do you see this wooden chair that I'm pointing to that has a jug of urine and some pads next to it seated on the chair?
Yes.
Okay. And in this same photograph, to the left of this photograph, is an IV pole with a hanging saline bag and also IV tubing draped over that IV pole. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And you see, as I've zoomed in on People's 25, again, the saline bag as well as the tubing draped over the pole and coming down to the bottommost portion of that photograph?
Yes.
And going then to People's 125, showing the close-up. Is this the jug of urine as you found it on June 25th, 2009, next to it being some medical pads?
Yes.
Okay. Now the IV stand as depicted and previously shown to you in People's 25, was that saline bag and IV tubing recovered on that day or a subsequent day?
A subsequent day.
Okay. Did you observe it on that day of June 25th, 2009?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And was the jug of urine and the previously described evidence items, was that all recovered on that day of June 25th, 2009?
Yes.
Did you then did you depart the location sometime that night on June 25th, 2009?
Yes.
Do you know what time approximately? We could have the lights, please, Your Honor.
At 2020.
2020, 8:20 p.m.?
Yes. Approximately. Yes.
And did you return to the location on June 29th, 2009?
Yes.
And that was following an interview of the defendant and a subsequent search to locate medical bags?
To search for further medical evidence, yes.
Okay.
I didn't catch it. On what date did you return?
6/29, 2009.
And that's you personally, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There was a search conducted on 6/26, 2009, for which you were not present?
Right.
Now, did you go to a particular location in the residence on 6/29, 2009? Did you go to a particular location within the house?
The same bedroom number 2.
Okay.
And also the room directly, large closet room attached to it.
And showing you People's 19. When you say the large closet attached to it, in People's 19, if this bed I'm pointing to, the white rectangle, represents where Michael Jackson was found by paramedics, is this closet would be to the right of the diagram?
Yes.
Okay, and how would you describe that room?
It's a large room lined with wooden cabinets almost to the ceiling, filled with clothing and shoes.
I have 2 photographs of this closet area, Your Honor. May these be marked People's 126 and 127, respectively?
Yes.
May we dim the lights, please?
Please.
This Fleak, looking at what's been identified as People's 126. From this vantage point, where I'm pointing here with this archway, is this looking into the bedroom that we've identified as bedroom number 2?
Yes.
Okay. And so if you were to walk from bedroom number 2, where Michael Jackson was found, you would come through this archway into this large room or closet area?
Correct.
Okay. And looking then, as you come into the room, and if you were to come into the room and turn right, this large wooden closet in People's 126, this uppermost cabinet, does that depict where you centered your search on June 29th, 2009?
Yes, it is.
And looking at People's 127, does that depict the same upper cabinetry area with the doors open, depicting items you recovered?
Yes.
Okay. And zooming into that upper cabinet then, does this include 3 separate bags that were recovered by you on that day?
Yes.
And lastly, if I could, a close-up of that same area, Your Honor, if I could have it marked People's 128 for identification.
Yes.
Looking at People's 128, Ms. Fleak, is that the same area from a different vantage point with a bit more of a close-up?
Yes.
Kind of a photograph of various bags and lotions and gloves laid out on a table. May this be marked People's 129 for identification.
Yes.
Ms. Fleak, were the items subsequently removed from this cabinet area and laid out on a nearby table for purposes of documenting them?
Yes, they were.
Showing you People's 129. Looking at that photograph and going from left to right, is this a small black bag that was recovered in the cabinet area you've described?
Yes.
And going then to the right, this is a larger blue Costco bag,
Yes.
a light blue and brown bag labeled Baby Essentials.
Correct.
Okay. And apparently a box of gloves, another box, and 2 large bags of tubes of various lotions.
Yes.
You're going to have a black canvas bag booked into LAPD custody as evidence item 104. May this be marked People's 130 for identification?
It is.
And it is solid black, Your Honor. There's nowhere really to write on the bag, but the black small bag, People's 130.
Thank you.
Now, did you recover this black bag and recover the contents from that black bag on June 29th, Ms. Fleak?
Yes.
Okay. And inside of that black bag, did you recover what was earlier marked People's 181, which had been LAPD item 105, this Starline blood pressure cuff?
Yes.
I may have misheard. I thought I heard you say People's 181.
People's 81, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay.
Previously marked, it's People's 81.
I may have misheard. Thank you.
Was the blood pressure cuff, as it is here in court, inside of this small black bag, which was inside of this Starline cardboard box?
Yes, it was.
And was this Starline cardboard box then inside of People's 130?
Yes.
I have a photograph, Your Honor, depicting the black bag and its internal contents. May that be marked People's 131 for identification?
Yes.
Ms. Fleak, you recognize that photograph as being the black bag with the blood pressure cuff in its box inside of it? And I
Yes.
can bring the photograph to you.
Yes, I recognize that.
Okay. You see the star line on the box there?
Yes.
And inside of that bag, you also recovered 3 bottles of lidocaine?
Correct.
And those had been booked into LAPD custody of respectively 2 bottles being LAPD item 113 and 1 bottle being LAPD item 114?
Yes.